In order to understand integrative STEM education, we first need to break down what we mean by STEM. Each letter of STEM stands for a separate subject area: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So you might be thinking to yourself, is integrative STEM supposed to be a separate class that I take in school? And the answer to that is no. Integrative STEM education is a method of teaching that helps students learn by understanding that all four subject areas are connected to one another. And in the real world, outside the classroom, scientists and engineers are making connections between each STEM subject in order to do their work. So science, technology, engineering, and math teachers should all be using integrative STEM as a teaching method in each of their classes. So let me demonstrate how these STEM subjects can come together. Let's start with engineering. Engineering has to do with building physical things, like this spatula, for example. So the engineer will deal with the process of designing and building this device. Now, what about technology? Technology answers the question, why? Why is the engineer building this device? And the answer is to improve on an older technology that helps people satisfy a need. People need to eat, so they need to cook, and this spatula helps them do it. So what might an older technology of the spatula look like? So let's pretend that this was the first spatula that humans used to cook with. Technology wants to improve this spatula so it can work better. So technology comes up with the idea of a better device that satisfies the same human need to cook. This spatula is better because it has a wider head, so it's easier to balance food when you cook with it. Technology comes up with the idea of how to improve a design, and the engineer is the one who builds it. So where does science come into this? Scientists ask questions that can only be answered by performing experiments. A scientist might look at the spatula and question, well, what happens to the material of the spatula when it comes into contact with different higher temperatures? Now, the scientist will perform an experiment by exposing this material to a range of different temperatures and collecting data off their findings. The scientist might discover that this material melts around the same temperature that most coal-fired grills go up to. However, the scientists also discovered that stainless steel does not melt at this temperature. So the scientist talks to the engineer and tells them about their discovery, and the engineer will build a new spatula using the suggestions that science made. As you can see, this one has the stainless steel. So all these discipline areas are talking to each other to help produce the best possible spatula. I hope that helps you understand.